Welcome back to Hope at Dawn right here at Hope TV, where you look and live. Told you that once we are back on our Relationship Resonance segment, we will be having a guest in studio. And she is already on set, ready to help us with today's conversation. And it's all about understanding boundaries and, of course, in relationships. And this is a very interesting conversation, and I know it will go a long way, in helping us understanding the importance and how also we can be able to observe these relationships. So without much ado, allow me to welcome our guest, and she's a friend of Hope as well, and a friend of Gigi as well. Good to see you. How are you?
I'm fine. Good to see you too, Gigi.
It's been a minute.
One long minute. Actually, 2 minutes.
We can make it 2 minutes.
Yes. Yeah, but I'm so glad to be here.
Karibu sana.
My name is Kahero. I am a counseling psychologist.
Right.
And I am also in business. I run a moving business called Prolific Movers.
All right.
I am also a CPM. A CPM is a certified professional mediator. So I help people settle disputes out of court.
Ah.
Yes.
All right.
And I am married to James Kahero. And together we have 3 wonderful sons. Yeah.
Awesome. So you're too a lady in that house.
I am the only lady. No
Very secure. No competition.
Not at all.
Awesome. It's good to have you this morning. Thank you for your time. Let's talk about, what do we mean when we are talking about understanding boundaries in relationships?
Boundaries are the rules and limits we set in relationships.
Yes.
To define how far is acceptable and how far is not acceptable.
Yeah.
And boundaries are based on your values, your culture, and even your faith.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's saying hapo umekuja sana.
Yeah.
And you can only come this far in regard to this matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there are those rules and limits.
Yeah. Based on your values. So a person must have values.
Yes, yeah, I believe everyone has values. They may be good or
bad.
But everyone has values. Yeah.
Because the reason I'm asking that is because, as you said, but you said good or bad. There are people who, for them, too far. We keep asking how far is too far. For them, they really don't mind.
Yeah, we have those.
Yeah.
We have those, and as we progress with this discussion, we will realize that there are different types of boundaries. Yeah. So there are those you are talking about, who anything goes.
Yeah.
I mean, there are no boundaries. There's no, the word no does not exist.
Yes. Yeah.
So there are those. Yeah, they are there.
Yeah. And let's go to the benefits and the importance. Let's look at the importance of having these boundaries in relationships.
Yeah, it is very important to have boundaries in relationships, and not just one relationship, because human beings are relational beings. Yeah, we are relational beings.
Yes.
And so for every relationship, the boundaries may play differently. Like a child and a mother, a husband and wife, a friend and a friend. Work related, employer employee.
Yeah.
There are different boundaries.
Yeah.
And so in all these spheres, it's important to have boundaries in place, because boundaries will help you be clearer on who you are,
Yeah.
So that even when people think about something, about George, they say, for George, no, that one he will not accept. Or, that will be cool with George.
Yeah.
Because by setting your boundaries, you have made it clear of who you are, what you want, what you are not, all that,
Yeah.
And it even helps you to enhance your self-identity.
Yeah.
Because I am this and that, and this is how far you can come in regard to this matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, and boundaries will also guard your mental space and your emotional space.
Yeah.
Because when you set certain boundaries, you're actually protecting your mental health.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they are important for mental health and emotional health as well.
Yeah.
And also, you enhance your output. You are more productive if you have boundaries in place. Because like in a workplace scenario, if you have organized your work and you know this is my to-do today, and you're not just bringing in everything that is coming, you are able to complete your to-do and to be more productive at the end of the day, rather than to jump from here to there to there, because you do not have boundaries. And consequently, you will avoid burnout. Because you're likely to burn out when you, especially at workplace, when you do not have a plan, you do not define exactly your scope of work day to day. So you also avoid burnout if you set boundaries.
Those I think you have answered my next question, because I was about to ask you. Partly you have answered, and I know you will maybe add some more in terms of what are the effects, the results of now not setting those boundaries.
Oh, that was your question. So of course, like we have said, the benefits are enhancement of self-identity and guarding your mental and emotional space. So of course, the reverse is of not setting the boundaries. So you can end up being burnt out. You can end up losing yourself, losing your identity, because for you everything goes. So we don't even know where you stand, because we can always come to you with our everything, and so we do not even know where you stand. And then also you realize that they are like those people we call workaholics. And
they don't have
I think there are some people who think workaholic is a very positive term.
And they're very proud of it, by the way.
They're proud of being workaholics. But I think being a workaholic, to a certain extent, is a lack of boundary. Is an overstepping of a certain boundary. Because if you have boundaries, you are an organized person, and you stick within your time limits and all that. So when you do not set boundaries, you may end up being workaholics and other related things as workaholics. And therefore, you will not even have time. Because we therapists are very big on self-care. So you neglect self-care, physically, emotionally, mentally. And so you end up in a not very nice mental space and emotional space.
You keep talking about mental well-being of an individual, and hence the need to ensure that one of the contributors of mental issues could be a lack of setting boundaries. Someone is watching us this morning and they are wondering how this can come about. Would you explain to them
how they can get mentally unhealthy?
Yes. By not setting boundaries.
I probably will give a scenario. You wake up in the morning, George. You come to work, you do the show here with Aggie and whichever other show you do. Then after that, I don't know what your plan is, but you're very busy after here. You get home, you have a family, you're very busy. After that, you probably have carried work home, Because for you, you do not even rest is not in your vocabulary. Self-care is not in your vocabulary. For you, it's work. You're just giving, pouring out. And when you reach to that point where you're pouring from an empty cup, you start getting breakdowns. Your head starts aching. Oh, I have this nagging headache. And it's something that you're coming down with. It could just be fatigue.
Yeah.
It could be a burnout. And so it will affect you not only physically, but left unchecked, it will affect you even mentally.
Yeah.
I don't know whether that is clear.
Makes sense, and it's clear. And if you can help us, because maybe we have overlooked some boundaries. If you would help us understand some of the types of boundaries that we ought to have in our lives. Yeah.
Okay. We have. I will talk about 3 types of boundaries.
Okay.
We have emotional or mental boundaries. You know, those are the ones that entitle you to your feelings, to your thoughts, to your ideas. And they are yours.
Yeah.
So nobody has the right to invalidate your feelings and your thoughts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because they are yours. And my feelings are mine.
Yeah.
You know. And other person's opinion of my feelings is not valid.
Yeah.
So we have emotional and mental, or mental, emotional or mental.
Yes.
Boundaries. Then we also have physical boundaries. These are the ones that say, I am uncomfortable with a hug from you.
Yes.
I am uncomfortable with a handshake. You are seated too close to me. I am.
You're encroaching my space now.
Exactly. Yeah. And of course, other than that, there are also the ones that entitle you to rest, to eat, to just take care of your physical well-being. And then, of course, we have time boundaries. These ones protect you from saying yes every time, agreeing that at this time, I cannot do this.
Yeah. If
After
you call
9
me past,
o'clock,
don't call.
I will not pick your call.
Yeah.
If you come to me by this time, I may just consider doing this. But if you come after this time, no, I am not able to do that. So emotional or mental, physical or time boundaries. Yes.
Do you feel, this is a random question, especially on the time boundary. Do you feel the people that you interact with, the GG and others, as Kenyans, let me say as Kenyans, are we really big on time boundaries especially?
You mean Kenyans or Africans?
You have even added the scoop. Yeah, Africans.
I think we are not big, but what I can say is that boundaries are very personal. Yeah. So I will not cross my time boundaries because Gigi is not keeping his time boundaries. So it's very personal. And yes, your observation, I think, is right. We are not very keen on time boundaries. But hey, here we are this morning. And it's never too late to turn around and to do something differently, especially when it's to your benefit or to the benefit of those people that you love.
Awesome. I wanted to go to the physical one, and for the physical, especially to them that are married, you know, they usually say, office, nini. So that not to send the wrong, the wrong message. It's important to also set those physical boundaries so that don't come too far, too close.
You know, there are people, and I think you can tell people who have no boundaries, who will not care who you are, but they will just come and handle you very inappropriately, uncomfortably at that. So it is upon you to say, no, this is, I am not comfortable.
And when you say that, actually, because Aggie, it can be misconstrued to mean you are rude or arrogant. It's just that is the boundaries that you have set, and it's okay to tell someone, no.
Actually, for every boundary, it's almost all of them. People will think you're proud. Or you are unaccommodating or whatever.
Misunderstanding. We don't understand.
Yes, but boundaries are yours and yours to protect you. No, you see, those are others' opinions.
And this is you.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that people will feel like that.
Yeah.
But the opposite of that is to be all over you and to wear you and, take advantage of your...
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's misuse. So I usually advocate for do not fear to communicate your boundaries. Let people feel you proud.
Yeah.
Let people feel you're not accommodating. Let
you are
people,
old school.
Yes, yes. Let them feel that.
Yeah.
But stick to your boundaries.
Yeah.
Protect yourself.
Yeah.
Yes.
I will also work on myself because, especially on the time one, because you have an engagement with someone at, say, 8:30. Hiyo 8:30 ndio natoka home and we were to meet at 8:30. So I think in terms of such boundaries, we need to improve and work on the same, all of them, emotional, mental boundaries, physical, and also time boundaries. Thank you for that, Aggie. And
actually, Gigi, for time, if you have an appointment at 8:30 and that's the time you're leaving home, the person you are meeting for that appointment, if they have time boundaries, they won't see you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Until now, you make up your own boundaries.
And then nianze kusema these people, Aggie tu ni akona madoido. She can't even wait.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is what happens, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But it's very important. And I'm not saying mine are perfectly in place.
Yeah.
We are having this discussion
True,
to help each other.
Yes.
Yeah, because as life is such a school, you are always learning new things and making better what you know. Yeah, so even in terms of those time boundaries, we are getting there. We are getting better. In
your own opinion, Aggie, which is one of the boundaries? We have mentioned the three. Which one do you feel it is the most crossed? And what are some of the signs?
I wouldn't say there's one that is most crossed.
Or it depends with different people.
Yeah, because boundaries are actually specific to situations. Yeah. So we wouldn't classify and say this boundary is most crossed. It is situation specific. So we wouldn't pick one and say that it is most crossed. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. In studio this morning, we are hosting Aggie Kahero. She is a counseling psychologist. And this morning, it's all about boundaries, understanding boundaries. We are understanding these boundaries so that we can become a better people in as far as interacting with different people in different seasons of their lives are concerned. Any question you could be having, you can get in touch with us on 0708 222 323. Understanding boundaries. That is our conversation today on the Relationship Resonance segment. And of course, on set, the amazing Aggie Kahero. She is breaking it down to us in manageable pieces so that we are able to be a better people as we do this life. For now, we take a short commercial break. We are coming back to continue with our conversation, even as we answer some of your questions. See you in a short while.
Je, ushawahi kuweka jambo kwenye mizani? Ushawahi kupata uzito wake? Haya basi, usitapetape zaidi. Naomba unigande, maana mizani ipo hapa kwa ajili yako.
Vyakula na mbegu za kitamaduni
na kutuliza fikra na kukuwezesha kupima masuala ibuka katika jamii, tena kwa busara. Tukutane mizani kila Ijumaa saa 1 machweo kwenye runinga ya Hope TV.
Hello there, praise the name of the Lord. My name is Evelyn Wanjiro. To get Naiwe Maombi as your skiza tune, SMS skiza 8830022 to 811. Hope Skiza, spreading the hope.
Welcome back. This is Hope at Dawn, right here at Hope TV. This is where you look and live. My name is Kahero. Relationship Resonance is the segment, and today we are looking at understanding boundaries. And to help us with this conversation, we are hosting Aggie Kahero, a clinical psychologist. And thank you so very much for the same. Counseling, sorry. Thank you. Yeah. Sorry for that. We picked it up at where we were defining the different, what is it called, boundaries.
Yes.
Let's talk about what defines the boundaries that one needs to set for themselves.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, boundaries can be healthy. Mm-hmm. They can be porous, or they can be rigid. Mm-hmm. Healthy boundaries are those ones where you are able to say no when you need to say no. Mm-hmm. And then you take time to build trust.
Yeah.
You know, you first learn a situation or a person, mm-hmm. and then you can begin to build trust. Yeah. And then you get to share your personal information appropriately when you are setting healthy boundaries. Yeah. In the case where there are healthy boundaries, and you can also communicate assertively. Mm-hmm. And then you support without getting too involved. You know?
Yeah.
You don't get into that situation with all you ever had or ever will have. Yeah. And then while you do all this, you stand by your personal values and your belief system.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for healthy boundaries.
Yeah.
Then there are those that are porous. Mm-hmm. You know, for the porous boundaries, you are overly trusting others, even strangers. You do not take time to build trust. Yeah. And then you are quick to adopt people's opinions, you know, even without interrogating them, without knowing how they are going to affect you.
Yeah.
And then you avoid conflict by always saying yes, or by giving in to every demand or every request. And then you do not assert your personal values. And I feel like for this for porous boundaries, I feel like peer pressure is usually the main thing at play.
Yeah.
And so you want to fit in.
Yeah.
You want to
please
in.
people.
Yes.
Yeah.
You want to please people, and so you just trust. You just throw away your values and everything, and you enter the situation. Yeah. So those are porous boundaries.
Yeah.
And then there are the rigid. Of course, rigid are you're very untrusting.
Yeah.
And then you're very guarded with personal information. We do not know nothing about you. Yeah. And then you say no most of the time. You say no even before you hear the question. Yeah. And then you are detached from other people's problems and opinions. Ni shauri yao. Yeah. And then you are inflexible. Your value systems are very inflexible. And you avoid conflict by pushing people away. Yeah. And then you are aggressive. They are aggressive communicators. Yeah, those people with rigid boundaries. Yeah, so there are those three. They can be healthy, they can be porous, or they can be rigid.
Yeah.
And I would say that for you to be able to set healthy boundaries, because definitely we want to set healthy boundaries.
Yes.
Yeah, so you need to know your limits, and you need to know your values. You need to maintain self-respect and respect for others. Yeah. And you need to be assertive without being aggressive.
Yeah. Assertive without being aggressive.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking, listening to you from the time we began our conversation, I feel these boundaries, it's all about you knowing yourself. And this is who I am in a nice way, but again, you don't infringe on my space.
Exactly.
And my space and what I do. And in case I put you, I say, hold on.
Yeah.
It's not that I'm rude.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to create those boundaries that will be healthy for me, because at the end of it all, the goal is to have healthy boundaries. So listening to all those, I would not want to be rigid. Neither would I want to be porous, because again it means anything goes with me. Ukienda tu kwa jiji, huyo
ako sawa.
Ako sawa tu.
Ako sawa.
Have a stand and know that I can only go this far. Let's talk about now how should one express their boundaries to people, as we said. Partly you have mentioned, because assertive but not aggressive, but then again, how do we go about it?
When you have healthy boundaries in place, you can say no without feeling guilty.
Yes.
You can talk without over-explaining yourself. Because you understand where you stand. And much as it may not be very easy for the other party, other party to understand you, you are able to express yourself. Because you see, at the end of the day, it is how you expressed yourself, it is what you communicated to the other person, And you know, the opposite is true. When you have no boundaries, you are unable to say no. You are feeling very oppressed, but you cannot say no, because you do not want to hurt the feelings of this person. No, it does not work like that. So when your boundaries are healthy, you will not shy away from communicating them. And saying no, and saying wait, and saying not now. With all the confidence in the world. And now you see, you're not responsible for the other person to understand. They may not understand, or they may understand, but now that does not depend on you. Yours is to communicate your boundaries and communicate them clearly and respectfully. And
this also is even in family setups.
Even in family setups.
Because so that the reason I'm asking this is so that our someone who is watching us this day, they will not think that it's only with friends, social places, but also at that level.
Even at family level, like we mentioned, husband, wife. Okay, I think there are minimal boundaries between husband and wife, but even children, parents, there are boundaries. There are boundaries that children know they cannot cross when they are dealing with their parents. And there are boundaries that parents, much as we are the ones who birthed these children, we know there are boundaries we cannot cross when we are dealing with the children. Whatever age they are at, they of course, when they are very young, they may not understand boundaries. But when they start understanding themselves and having their own opinions, their own life, there is a limit where we understand that we can only go this far. Yes.
I'm thinking an office setup, like Hope Media. It's not that it is what is happening, but you have this manager. For them, they don't really observe these boundaries. So as someone reporting to them, how should I carry myself without jeopardizing, should I say, jeopardizing my position and the relationship I have with them?
Let's face it. We know there are people who are complicated sometimes. But that does not mean that because I know Gigi as my boss is very complicated, I will not make any effort. No, I think that it is important to make every possible moment to speak your boundaries out. You know, like in a work setup, let's say, for example, you are always having to stay late.
Yeah.
And your boundaries are defined in such a way that after work, I need to go home and spend time with my family. Yeah. But now there is this, every time I am having to stay late. My take is communicate. And so long as you do it respectfully, Gigi, you know, it could be something like, I would like to kindly request that we discuss the working hours. You know, when you say such a thing, of course it will click even in the other person's mind that, there is a problem, you know. And so long as you remain respectful, you should not be crucified or instigated for communicating this, Or it could be something like, I feel uncomfortable with doing this at this time. Can we do it tomorrow?
Yes.
You know, and that will even open an opportunity for a discussion or an expression of, I mean, things that have been going on maybe. Yeah, so it's just important to speak out and to set your boundaries.
Yeah.
When I work beyond this time, I reach home late. And it is not working very well with my family. You know, just speaking out and speaking out respectfully.
Yeah. So one of the don'ts when you are expressing your boundaries is, one, being rude.
Yeah.
So you have to be courteous and be nice.
Yeah, and don't be entitled also.
Because you know your boundaries and all. So you are going there now in that meeting with all sorts of entitlement. Yeah.
Don't be entitled. Just be polite, be respectful, but speak out. Speak out.
Yeah.
Don't just stay there in your oppression and you know you have boundaries in place, and because of someone else they are going down the drain. No, discuss them.
Yeah, because Aggie, so many people, they, as you said, they are in oppression and they know whatever is happening to them is not right. Someone has really come and occupied their space, yet it is not supposed to be so, but they are in silence.
They are in silence, because probably they are afraid, or because they are not confident, or because their boundaries are porous.
By the way, because if you know your space, it doesn't matter who or what is happening. You have to raise the voice. Wow.
Speak out.
Speak out. As wanasema kwa hizo stickers, usinyamaze.
Speak out.
So what are some of the examples of setting boundaries and examples of not setting boundaries? So we start with examples of setting boundaries.
Okay, I think we have already talked about, we have highlighted that. And we have said that the examples of setting even healthy boundaries, you know, is, I mean, when you take time to trust, and when you are assertive but not aggressive. You know? I think we have talked about that.
Let's talk about, we have talked about a case study at the office level. That one you can deal with it because this is not my flesh and blood. Aya, twende pale nyumbani. You have people. You have interacting, and you are interacting with them very closely. And unfortunately for them, they whatever we are discussing here is alien. So sijui what boundaries, or physical, or sijui time. How do you help such a person without sounding again? We keep going back, rude, arrogant, proud.
I will say it's never too late to begin somewhere. And because information is power, you probably did not know you can set boundaries even at home. But today could be that day where you begin small. For example, probably you are always cleaning after everyone. and there are people in that house that can clean up after themselves. Probably it can begin to, as little as saying that going forward, I am going to require that we all clean after ourselves. I am unable to continue doing it for everyone. You know, it can be something as small as that. And of course, it may be received with shock and skepticism and all. But you have just discovered that what you have been doing is not anything you want to continue doing. You want to draw a boundary in regard to that particular issue. And so you just begin by speaking it out and instituting it, so that even when people are not respecting it, they know that boundary there that they are overstepping. And how do you react as the one who is setting up the boundary? You remain firm. You remain firm. And I mean, with time, they will realize, hey, this person was not joking. They meant what they said. And so you can always begin somewhere instead of living under oppression, especially when you realize that you have been oppressed in a certain way. It's time to, I mean, to turn around and to do things differently.
As we bring our conversation to a close, someone is watching us, and they have gone through and they have experienced mental issues as a result of a lack of boundaries, knowingly or unknowingly, due to the lack of those boundaries. How can you help such a person?
I will say that information is power. Now they have heard us discuss about boundaries. They probably have never had or thought about setting boundaries. But like we have said, they can begin somewhere. Just looking out for yourself and say, what can I do differently so that I can take care of my mental health and my emotional health? Even if it's just a little thing, what is this thing that I can do differently? Or who can I talk to? So that I will be able to do things differently to keep myself mentally healthy. Because like we always say, help is out there. There is a lot of help. And you know, you can speak to someone. It doesn't necessarily have to be, I mean, a professional, but probably the person you need to speak to help you out in your situation is someone you're in the same house with, or someone who is just a text or a call away. Speak out, speak to somebody, tell them what is going on, how you feel, and then they are going probably to advise you what can you do about this situation. And if that does not help, do not hesitate to look even for professional help. Because again, if you are unable to get help from your level of relations, you can always go a notch higher and speak to a professional.
As we bring it to a close, the one thing I have learned today, I have tried physical, I have tried boundaries. Time on my part, I try, but sasa I find myself accommodating people a lot, so that even when you are still late, I still accommodate you. So
and I would want to say that much as boundaries are important and they should be upheld, I also think they are very situation specific. So we do not want to be unfair. Like I may actually have started coming here on time, but found an accident on Gong Road. I couldn't get here on time. So now if I find that you already decided I will not be on the show.
We closed the studio.
And I mean,
we moved on.
So at the end of the day, we are human, and I think boundaries are to guide us, to protect us and all, but they are not cast on stone. No, we are not rigid boundaries. Yeah?
Yes.
We are not that rigid. So, but you are the hearer this morning. You are the one who knows what you need to change in regard to time boundaries. Because again, we do not want you to be rigid. We do not want your boundaries to be so rigid, such that you are unable to live in this world, you know, because flexibility is required in relationships and in the things we do day to day. So if there is something you feel you're able to change, very good, well and good. But again, we are not looking to be rigid.
No. Aggie, as we bring it home, what would be that closing remark from you?
I would say that just as you have your boundaries and you would like them to be respected, please remember that the other person also has boundaries. And so respect their boundaries, even as they respect your boundaries. It's a two-way. It is not me imposing my boundaries over you or vice versa. It is two ways. So respect other people's boundary as they respect your boundaries.
Awesome. And I know someone today, amebarikiwa. There will be a better version of who God created because of the information that they have gotten today. Thanks to your time this morning. Maybe how do they go about it?
Okay, I am on social media. My IG and Facebook page is called Jamanis Center.
Jamanis.
Jamanis. Jamanis. Just there is a Jamani. Jamanis. Jamanis Center. And I could also give out my phone number. My phone number is 0722 266 406. 0722 266 406.
Awesome.
You can always reach out. And I will be glad to be of assistance to you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
You have really enlightened me as well. You know, I was seated here, asking questions, but some were very personal. So I've learned a thing or two today, and I purpose to apply the same. So thank you so very much. And may you continue to help people. To be better people, you know, courageous people, and to know how and when to apply these boundaries in their lives. I actually didn't, well, I knew, but I didn't know it would be to that extent, setting boundaries at family level. Because, you know, only blood, mezoyana and all, but now, you can be the light even in that family. If meeting to 8 or 9, be there on time.
Be there.
Whatever physical boundaries that need to be observed, emotional, mental, observe them as well. But don't be rigid.
Do not be rigid. And I am so glad to realize that my host actually is the first one to be impacted. So I believe that we have impacted many others.
Many others.
And I am so glad. Thank you so much for having me.
Karibu
it's
sana.
Always a pleasure
Karibu
to come
sana.
here.
And thank you for being a friend of hope. You know, when I was on the other side where we could not be seen, radio, every morning I could get a text.
You would
from
know that
Aggie.
I am listening and
living. And living. So thank you so very much for your support. To our good friend James, siasalimiwe sana.
Atasalimiwa.
And the boys as well. Thank you.
I will.
Thank you.
And thank you very much.
Karibu.
Say hello to your family.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. It has been an amazing conversation this morning. It's all about understanding boundaries, and Aggie Kahero has really helped us to understand the same, and I know that you have learned a thing or two on the same. My hope and my prayer is that now you will be able to apply the same in your life for you to be a better person, not just for you, for your family, for the community, and for the larger nation as well. That has been Relationship Resonance. Anyone who has missed this one, you can share with them today's link so that they can listen and also get to learn as well. Tomorrow being a Friday, it's the Beyond the Melody segment, and so looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. From me, George Gishuru, this is to wish you a fruitful and a blessed day ahead. Kwaheri for now. Take care.